Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of calling .NET libraries. In today's lesson we're going to go through creating a sample calculation that calls the .NET DLL, and perhaps we'll get into creating a SampleManager analysis with a calculated field. And of course, if time permits, we'll go ahead and test out our creation. So for this example, I create a sample, basically a test calculation under laboratory tables, went to calculation, and this one I named it comp spec. Okay, you double click on it. I just set a name, gave it a name. If you go under format, I'm going to pause. Go ahead and pause the video here and take a look at the code, and then I'm going to go through it. So just pause for a few seconds. If you right click and go out here and go calculation add, give it whatever name, test, calc. I'm not going to save this. It's going to give a name. If you click format at this point, notice it gives you this basic information. Okay, that's what I started off with. Now I'm going to go and show you what I added in order to call that DLL. So let me go back and open up the comp spec DLL, or not DLL, but the VGO code. And you can see here, just take a look at what I added. Notice I added a variable called return value, and then I got a little function here within the code called get value, and it's only going to take the return value. And then I've got return value. I'm going to return this back to, this is what's going to go into the calculation. Now it's possible I don't need to pass return value because I'm in a global routine and the value is declared in the global routine, but in this particular case I'm passing it. The other thing I'm passing it by reference, so it's going to provide a pointer to the actual variable called return value. If I were to put something in here, value like that, that would pass the variable by value rather and just give a copy to the subroutine. But in this particular case, I'm passing it by reference. By reference is the default, so it's going to have a return. So any change I make to return value here is going to change the value that's declared up on this variable. So down in this routine, the first thing, which is a built-in function within SampleManager, is this standard net server. This was included so that you could call external .NET libraries. So the syntax is create space object space, and then in quotes I've got std underscore net underscore server, standing net server, and then I give it the name of the object that I want the object called within this subroutine. So this name is only relevant to this subroutine. Then once the object is created, I can treat it just like I would any other object. It's got properties, it might have some methods, but when I create this object, notice when I instantiate this object, it's going to call the new routine or the new subroutine within the DLL that we saw just earlier. In fact, the new subroutine is not created. This is just creating the object. This is actually what creates or instantiates the new routine. So notice here we've got the name of the DLL. This is the name of the DLL as it's written or listed in the executable folder where we place the DLL. We don't have to put .dll, but that's the name of it. And this is the name of the class within the DLL. So this is the name of the namespace, followed then by the name of the class. And then this third parameter is actually a subdirectory within the XC if it happened to be in a subfolder. I don't recommend using subfolders, so just put it in the root of the XC. As we'll see very soon, we'll use an analysis, and in that analysis there's two fields in the analysis. One is temperature. So this is within the .NET DLL. I'm going to set the temperature to the value. I'm going to go retrieve the value from the analysis of the current test number, current sample, current test number. I'm going to grab the temperature, the value there, and I'm going to pass it into the object of the .NET DLL. We're going to pick up here on the next video, so please stay tuned.